YouTube, how's it going? My name's Leo, and in today's video, I'm going to be telling you whether you should join a team or go solo. So in this video, we're going to be determining whether joining a team or going solo, which is the right option for you. So there's one reason why somebody might be wanting to join a team. You might be transitioning from part-time to full-time, and you just want to see what a full-time agent does on a day-to-day basis. But as well as there are many pros to joining a team, which would be that your learning is expedited tremendously. You're going to be learning how to prospect, how to do your contracts, and just seeing what happens on a day-to-day basis and how to interact with clients. Second would be that you have somebody there to hold you accountable every step of the way, as well as that person will be your support. So if you have any questions or anything that comes up that you don't know, you can go ahead and ask your team. More than likely, one or two people would know the answer to your question. Three is that you're going to be pushed out of your comfort zone. And I can definitely say this is a true fact for me. And if you stay till the end, I'm going to be telling you my experience from transitioning from a solo agent to a team member. Another thing would be you have somebody there to get you from lead to client to then closed. Now, teams don't give you leads. They aren't there to just hand you over their business. They're there to help you learn how to create your own business. Another great thing about joining a team is that you get to use the numbers of the team. So if you're a new agent and you have zero production, if you join a team, you can instantly already say that your team has sold X amount of homes, they've done this amount of volume, and that's just something that can boost your speech while talking to a potential client on the phone or maybe even at the door. Especially if you're door knocking and one of your team members has a client looking to buy in the area, you can just take their pre-approval letter with you and just door knock with that. Even though they're not your specific client, you could still look for a home for that buyer and help out your team member. Another thing with us is, at least here at EXP, if you do join a team, you get a lower cap rate. So instead of capping at 16,000, we go ahead and get to cap at 8,000, which is fantastic because then you get to keep more of your money, right? The last thing that is a great pro for me is when you start out on your team, you already have systems in place and vendors that they work with that you can continue to rely on when you bring your business into the team. Now, not everything here is pretty, right? Because obviously if there's pros, there's cons to the whole situation. And one of the cons of joining a team would be that if you were to decide that the team wasn't for you and you leave the team, all your contacts and databases ads that you have would then be taken from you and be kept with the team, and you're pretty much starting again from zero. As well as you're not, most teams, I mean, our team here at Team BC is structured very differently, but with most teams, you're not able to build your own brand and you're just building the brand of the team. I mean, here with Team BC, we are doing that as well, but we are given the option to build our own brand on side by side with building the team. Okay, and if you, some differences about going solo versus a team. So if you decided to go solo, is you're gonna be learning everything on your own, which isn't a problem if you're a go-getter and you don't need anybody there to hold you accountable, and you're definitely just always on top of your own stuff, right? That's the type of person I would recommend to go solo. Another thing is going solo is you have to find your own systems and vendors, and finding the right vendors to work with can sometimes be difficult, especially right now, because all lenders right now, say if you're looking for a lender, lenders are super swamped right now. And to find a good one that's going to be responsive and help you throughout the whole transaction, and if you have questions to go to, finding the right lenders for you can sometimes be very difficult. So that's one of the pros that I see when joining a team, is that they already have that in place. Okay, sorry, I'm looking down at my notes here. Another thing that like I said, is the commission It's not like I know I said it was a pro that you get a lower commission split with the team, but if you're a go-getter and you're all about hustling and going out there and finding the deal, then you would be keeping more of your own money, because then you don't have to pay a split to the team. You're just paying yourself and your brokerage, whatever your split is with them. Okay, and so pretty much those are all the pros and cons of joining a team or going solo. Now I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my experience of going from solo agent transitioning into a team. So my first couple months here, I wanna say like first 3 months, I made close to 14,000 cold calls. And before I joined the team, I thought I was confident on the phones and was going to be setting appointments and doing this because I've already made so many calls. I've already heard so many objections. I've been hearing it all, right? So I was already had a high confidence when I was talking on the phones. But boy, was I wrong. Let me tell you. So I kept calling, and like I said, I made about 14,000 cold calls, and I was talking with my mentor, trying to figure out what I'm not doing correctly to be setting appointments to get to in front of people, right? Because our whole goal is to get in front of people. And so I was making these cold calls and I was doing everything, but I didn't have systems in place for follow-up. I didn't have any lenders or anything in place. So when people were hitting me up, asking me questions, I had really no one to go to. And when I was calling lenders and asking questions, most of them didn't have the time for me. And so in reality, I knew that I wanted to join a team, which is why I joined this brokerage, or my specific brokerage, because I wanted to join this specific team. And thankfully, now that I have transitioned from being a solo agent, making so many calls, I've now gone to a team and realized that my communication skills, which I thought were up here, were about like right here, right? And so thankfully within a week, I was able to see what I was doing wrong and how I needed to be a little bit more direct with people rather than, just trying to be everyone's friend, right? You got to be direct with certain people, and you got to learn how to mirror and match. And that is something that I was able to learn my first week here on the team. And I've seen my cold calls go from going for no appointments to where I'm setting appointments and I'm talking to people more confidently. And I can tell, because when I used to talk to people, I can, hear a little quiver in my throat. And now I'm always confident about what I'm saying, and I know exactly what to tell them if they have certain hesitations, essentially, working with me. And that I attribute to working on this team. And if I haven't had done that, I would have pretty much been in the same spot of waking up every day and making 500 cold calls and going nowhere, right? But being on this team has pushed me out of my comfort zone and has gotten me to go knock on people's doors and just have a conversation with them, see if they're interested in making a move, or just being able to go and have a conversation with somebody that I've never met. And that's something I would be hesitant to do if I were on my own, just because I was more of an introvert, as people would say, when it came to talking to others. And just being on this team has pushed me out of that, as well as pushed me to make my own videos, because I've been saying since I started in the business that I was going to start making YouTube videos. And I think it took me till this year, actually last week was my first video to ever be made on YouTube. And I attribute that to the team, because they pushed me. They're like, oh, you said you were going to make a video? When's it coming out? And that's just something that it's cool, because if nobody was there to hold me accountable, I would just been like, yeah, I'll make it the other day, or I got to edit this, or it's going to take some time. But here, at least it's pushing me to go ahead and do that and be more comfortable in front of people and on camera, which is fantastic all around. So if you guys have any questions, or if you guys are thinking about joining a team, go ahead and leave your comments down in the comment section down below, or go ahead and reach out to me on my Instagram, which is ListingsByLeo, and go ahead and shoot me a DM. All right, you guys have a great day, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys next week.